Hey folks, happy Monday and happy holidays. It is December 17th, 1 week until Christmas Eve. The home stretch, as they call it, the last regular week of 2018 before we settle in for the holidays, get some time off from work. I hope you all get some time off and get to enjoy the holidays with your friends and your family. So, coming up, episode 20. Can you believe it? We are up to our 20th episode? I just want to thank you all because we're hitting some milestones. 20th episode, our final episode of 2018, and we're well over 10,000 downloads now. So when I started this, I really thought this was going to be a couple of people listening in, 20 people or so, and this is just taken off where we're averaging about 1,300 downloads a week now, if you can believe that, the last couple of weeks. So thank you so much for getting the word out about the podcast and for your loyalty to the show. I mean, there's so many ways you could spend an hour of your time every week. So many other podcasts, television, radio, a million mediums that you can enjoy. And the fact that you come here every week and spend an hour with me really means a lot. So I really appreciate it. So what's this show all about this week? Of course, it's about Christmas. And no co-host this week. Well, Johnny will be my co-host. Johnny Mathis, that is. No, not Johnny B. Speaking of co-host, real quick. Johnny B, Jen, Corey, Jenny, everybody who's joined me this year, thank you so much for being a part of the show, for being a part of its success, and for the great job you all did. And we definitely hope to have you all back next year for season 2. Johnny Mathis is with me today because, folks, we all have a Christmas album that we grew up with that defined our childhood, that our parents played to death on the stereo, on the turntable. Yeah, folks, we actually had turntables. I know I'm showing my age, or cassette, or CD. What was yours, folks? Tell us in the comments. Growing up, mine was the Johnny Mathis Christmas album. Now, I think I was 10 or 11 before I realized, wait a minute, those aren't even Johnny Mathis's original songs. I thought he was the only one that sang Sleigh Ride and Winter Wonderland and Silver Bells and the Christmas song. Until I was like 10, 11, then I started hearing other versions. I'm like, wait, they're stealing Johnny Mathis's shit. But meanwhile, everybody covers these songs, but we didn't have 24-hour Christmas stations back then. We just listened to what we had in the house, and this was a big part of my childhood. So what we're going to talk about this week, it's all about Christmas. Now, we all have Christmas traditions in our house, in our families growing up, and even traditions as adults. I'm going to talk to you about some of the traditions we had in my house. And some of them were great and memorable, and I wouldn't trade those days for anything in those memories. And some of them are just downright dysfunctional and crazy. So we're going to talk about crazy things that happened growing up in my house. Now, Christmas Eve was the big holiday for me. I'm half Italian. That's how we celebrated the holidays, based on the Italian side of my family. So, I mean, Christmas Eve was chaos. It was fun. Of course, there's great memories. But there was also some dysfunction and craziness. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Christmas today. Now, I see a lot of younger people, much younger than me, people in their 20s, saying that they're stressed out over Christmas. Now, if you're my age or within a few years of me or older than me, you know that Christmas is relatively easy today compared to the way it was even 30 years ago. You click a button now, you do your Christmas shopping, even Christmas cards, folks. Remember we used to write out a heartfelt message in the Christmas card and take hours writing everything and licking the envelopes and getting it all ready. Now you take a couple of pictures of your kids, you have it made on a card wherever you go, Vistaprint, Costco, whoever does it, Shutterfly, and you stuff envelopes. You basically just stuff envelopes, put the label on. Now my wife really, for years, up until a couple of years ago, I was still writing out cards, and then my wife's like, are you crazy? So now we don't have kids, as you know, so now we're sending out 2 of the last 3 years pictures of the dogs on the card. So not really for it, but I'll go along with it. You got to make some compromises. So we'll talk about the difference between Christmas today and 30 years ago, and we'll debate which is easier. Now, you remember those trips to the mall, folks, if you're my age or within, it was crazy. Spending a whole weekend at the mall, maybe 2 or 3 weekends, getting all your shopping done, carrying those bags, sweating with your coat on up in New York, 10 degrees outside, 80 degrees in the mall. We'll talk about all that. We're also going to talk about Christmas gifts. Now, growing up, you all had that gift or two that you couldn't wait to get. You had the Toys R Us catalogs, the Sears catalogs, and you picked the toys you wanted. Now, going back, what were the greatest gifts you ever got as a kid? So we're going to talk about the greatest gifts and the worst gifts. Like none of us liked getting socks when we were a kid, or clothes, right? Now as an adult, as an adult male, I love getting socks. Are you kidding me? Because anytime my sock has a little imperfection or a little pull or a hole in it, my wife throws them out. So I start off the year right after Christmas with a drawer full of socks, and by June I'm down to a few pair because my wife's just throwing them out without telling me. I'm like, where the hell are all my socks? So as an adult male in my 40s, I welcome socks. Send me socks, everybody. So we'll talk about gifts that we hated as kids that we love now. We're also going to talk about, I lived in the suburbs of New York City. And every year on the Saturday, the craziest day, the Saturday before Christmas, the craziest day you can imagine, we had a family city trip to New York City. Now, my dad didn't go. He was smart. But we did go with my brother and my mom and my godmother and my friends. And of course, they're great memories. But I'll tell you how crazy my mom was and what she made us do. And just the insanity on those city trips, those New York City trips. Pretty funny stories on that. We're also going to talk about crazy New Year's Eves that I've had. Now, New Year's Eves now as an adult, folks, I don't venture out. I stay home. I don't want to deal with crowds and drunks, and I don't want to deal with it now. As you get older, you're just like, all right, you barely even make the ball drop. You're half asleep. But as a kid, we had these family gatherings just like we did on Christmas Eve, and I'll tell you about the crazy New Year's Eves that we had back as kids. So the basic theme of the show is Christmas. We'll tell some old stories, some new stories, some crazy Christmas stories. And of course, I want to hear yours. Everybody has that relative now, and maybe it was an uncle, a grandfather, an aunt, that was a little out there, that always brought, what should we say, that always spiced things up on the holidays. So I'll tell you some stories. The holidays for the most part, my memories are good, but you also had, I had grandfathers that would sit and tell conspiracy theories at the dinner table and all this crazy shit. If you think some of the stuff you hear nowadays is crazy, I might have it beaten. So I want to hear some of your crazy relative stories at Christmas time in the comments once the show is posted. I will try to have that for your evening commute. So folks, no matter where you listen to us this year, in the car, hopefully we made your commutes a little bit better, at work, on the toilet, at the gym. Those resolutions are coming, so you'll be spending, if anybody needs to spend time at the gym, that's going to be me. So, those resolutions are coming, folks, so you'll have a bunch of malarkey to look forward to in 2019. So you may want to revisit some shows that we've already done in the 2-week break. So we'll be back on January 8th. Again, thank you for your support on the book. A whole lot of shenanigans. Thank you for the folks who bought it since the launch these past couple of weeks for Christmas. If you go on Amazon, it's still two-day shipping free. You'll definitely have it before Christmas Eve. Today's only Monday. You have another week. So go to Amazon. eBay, I can't guarantee it getting to you because of the shipping method they make me ship it with. But you can get it 2-day free shipping on Amazon. So if you like the podcast, you think it's funny, you like humor, you want to give the gift of laughter to yourself or to a family member, a whole lot of shenanigans on Amazon. And really, thank you. It's been a great year, folks. We all have our ups and downs. Nobody's immune to it, but 2018 was a good year between the podcast and the book and all your support and encouragement. I can't thank you enough. For the folks that I'm friends with that live around here, that I see often, that I see in person, that are encouraging and supportive, thank you. For those who I maybe worked with over the years, went to school with 30 some odd years ago, that keep in touch on social media and encourage and support, thank you guys as well. And no matter who you are, if you're watching, listening, I hope that you have a great holiday season. Whether you celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, Festivus, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, I hope it's filled with love and happiness and health with you and your family members. And today's show is dedicated to my friends and family members who are no longer with us. I know we're going to joke about the holidays and dysfunction and fun, but I wouldn't trade those memories for anything. So today's show is dedicated to those in my life who are no longer with me, who I wish were, who I could maybe just do it one more time, one more Christmas with you guys. And I hope as you guys listen and laugh along, you'll remember those in your family and your friends who are no longer with us. And let's pay tribute to them with this last show. So that's going to wrap it up. I will see you guys again in 2019. You'll get a 2-week break. New show, Christmas show coming out probably later today. So Thank you again, folks. Happy Monday. Happy holidays. Enjoy the week. Really savor it, folks. It's going to go by fast. Christmas will be here and gone before you know it. So make it count this week. Really take in the sights and the sounds and the spirit of Christmas over the next week, because it goes by fast, folks. And before you know it, it'll be a new year, and we'll start it all over again. So happy holidays to you and your family. I really hope that it's a fun, safe, and time of memories, more memory making, folks. As we get older, the holidays don't have the same meaning they did when we were a kid. It's different, but we can still make it a great time with our friends and our family. So happy holidays to all of you. Happy New Year, and we'll see you on January 8th. Enjoy today's show, the Christmas show, and we'll catch you next year. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great holiday season. Take care.